Good morning, everyone. My name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And today, we're going to be talking about something that you probably haven't thought of in this way. How banks are charging us 200% interest, and it's hidden in plain sight. We're not seeing it. We're not noticing it, but it is happening just the same. I think you're going to like what you see today. So, folks, if you want to see some of the examples that we're putting on the screen today, what you want to do is get on your other device. You may have a separate phone. You may have a laptop or a tablet. And when you have that, go to YouTube, search for Pill Method, and click on our live stream. Oh, by the way, when you get there, go ahead and subscribe. And we're going to actually put that on the screen right now. Go ahead and subscribe. Comment on the videos. Like the videos. The more videos you like, the more the algorithm will push those videos out to people. And I believe you are going to like this one. Oh my goodness, people are showing up. I see Laura. I see Hasten. I see Felicia, Saeed, formerly Benita, Fatima, Danielle. I see, I also see some red tickets in here. I see Boogie. I see Kitty. I see Jasmine. If you are not a member of the Pill Method Club or this house, go up to the top right there where it says Pill Method. It's got that little arrow pointing to the right. Click on it and join the house. Join the house today. You're going to get financial information here you will not get anywhere else. Let's jump into it before I even talk about anything else. All right. Here's what we're talking about today. 9 out of 10 people will never pay off all of their debt, especially a 30-year mortgage. 9 out of 10 people will never pay off a mortgage. And they may have it for 30 years or even more, and they'll never pay it off. And one of the reasons is every 5 to 7 years, we refinance these loans. Every 5 to 7 years. Refinancing is baked into this system. Refinancing baked into the system. Right now, interest rates got as high as 7%. Right now, they're hovering in the mid 6s to 7 on their interest rates. Okay. And now I need you all to put in the chat this morning. Tell us where you're from. Just get used to putting stuff in the chat. If you have a question or comment about what we're talking about, please raise your hand and come to the stage. And we're going to talk about how banks are charging 200% interest. We're not noticing it. We're not seeing it, but it is happening just the same. Oh yeah. It has a lot to do with refinancing. Really? Oh yeah. Let me break it down for you just a little bit and how this whole thing is being presented to us, and we don't even see what's going on. Right now, interest rates are about 7%. All right, but they won't always be there. You know as well as I do, because of the cyclical nature of finance, interest rates are going to go down eventually. You know it and I know it. What happens if you're in an interest rate you feel is high? What's going to happen when interest rates fall? What happens when interest rates fall on your mortgage? What are people going to do? Put it in the chat or raise your hand. Come up to the stage and talk to me. When interest rates fall, what are people going to do? All right, Sheila Coleman is checking in. She's watching us on YouTube right now. She says, "Good morning. This is Sheila Coleman from the ATL, Hotlanta." Atlanta in the house. Sheila, thank you for thank you for chiming in today. We absolutely love the fact that you're here. All right. So folks, I need you to talk to me now. Talk to me, put it in the chat. What happens if interest rates, if we're at 7 and interest rates get down to like 5? All right. What are people going to do? Good morning. Good morning. Kitty Payton says good morning. She's from Arkansas. Cece says they're going to take out a lower they're going to take out at a lower interest or pay off for less like. Oh, okay. So are you saying they're going to take out a new mortgage, GC? They're going to take out a new mortgage. Are they going to get a refinance? Yeah, they're going to refinance these loans. Can I talk to you a little bit about something? Can I ask you a question? All right. Can I ask you a question? Most people refinance because they feel that if they get a lower interest rate, they're saving money, correct? Would that be correct? Let me ask you something. If by refinancing you're saving money, who has to be losing money? If you refinance your loan, even with your current mortgage company, if you're refinancing, who has to be losing money? If you're saving money, who has to be losing it? Come on, talk to me. Raise your hand, come to the stage, put it in the chat. All right, whatever you want to do. All right. Sheila Coleman says refi. Yeah, they're talking about refiing. Okay. If you refi and you believe you're saving money, who has to be losing it? I'm looking. All right. Saeed says the bank. All right. The banks. Laura Price says the banks. If you have, listen, Laura Price, the banks. All right. So here's what's happening, folks. If you believe you're I'm talking about you have a sincere belief you're saving money. You have a sincere belief you're saving money. Then the banks have to be losing money if you refinance. So how many believe the banks are actually losing money? Do you believe the banks are ever in a position to lose money? Yes or no? Do you believe that the banks are actually offering you a situation where you can actually save money and they're losing money? Yes or no? Let's see. Lambda Tolbert says no. No, the banks aren't losing money. The banks aren't losing money. So why is it that everybody who refinances believes that they're saving money when they're actually moving into a trap designed by banking? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wake it up in here. Let's start asking good questions. GC says, LOL, you don't save money ever. You can only obtain more assets. Money is a symbol. Listen, folks, the banking system is designed to make money always. Whenever they're offering something and they're not making money on it, guess what they do? They take it off the shelf. Whatever product, whatever program, whatever they're doing, if it's not making them money, they stop doing it. And I'm telling you today that refinancing is part and parcel with what they're doing. I'm not saying that we should never refinance. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that when most people refinance, it's not doing what they believe it's doing at all. At all. Okay. All right. So here's what we're doing. Let's get into it. Okay. GC, thank you for your comments. They create debt. They don't make money. That's right. They create debt. Well, actually, money is actually created through debt. Money is actually created through debt. You know how money is actually created through debt? When you have money, when you have debt, you're paying back the money plus the interest out of your pocket. which makes money for the banks. They end up with more money because they're renting their money, and they're renting it out. And when we rent it, they end up with more money in their coffers because they don't manufacture anything. They don't make anything. They're not taking any resources out of the ground. They're not a factory. They're not selling you a product. They're not giving you they're not giving you anything tangible, except they're renting you their money, and you pay rent on it. And that's how they make money. Oh, GC talks about fractional reserve lending. You mean when you put $1 on deposit, and for every dollar they can lend out 10? For every dollar on deposit, they can lend out 10. They actually lend out more than they actually have. How can they do that? They're actually writing numbers into your account. If you ever bought a house, anybody here bought a house? If you bought a house before, put a number 9 in the chat. If you bought a house before, put a number 9 in the chat right now. If you're online watching us, put a number 9 in the comment section if you've ever bought a house. All right? Yeah, I see some number 9s come in. Number 9s come in. Okay. Bought a house. If you borrow the money from a bank or a mortgage company, all right, did you ever see the actual bills? Did you actually see the actual money? Did you see the money change hands? Did you actually see money? I mean, dollar bills. No. Everybody says no. No, you didn't actually see the money. You know, the money was written into your account. You saw numbers that appeared on the screen if you looked online. Okay. And then those numbers were transferred to someone else. And then you were able to get the house. Okay. And the bank purchased that house from somebody else. Now the bank owns the house. They own your equity. And now you're purchasing the equity back from them. And this is how you can do that. You know, see, here's what's happening. All right. Here's what you all need to know. Something is going on behind the scenes that we need to ask more questions about. And I want to start out by saying, I am not anti-bank. I'm not anti-bank. I like the bank. But we all need to understand that the bank is not your friend. The bank is a business, and you need to understand that it is a business. And when you go to the bank or to your mortgage company, you need to treat it like a business and walk in from a position of strength. You need to know what's going on. And what we're here to do is expose what's going on. How in the world banking is charging us 100, 200, 300, even sometimes up to 500% interest. It's hidden in plain sight, and we don't see it. Let me give you some examples here. All right. I got Kurt Nugent in the background. He's putting examples on the screen for us today. All right. Jennifer says, I can't hear you. Can everybody else hear me? I guess everybody else can hear me because people are commenting. So, Jennifer, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. I don't understand why you can't hear me. On Clubhouse, turn up your volume maybe, or if you're on Clubhouse, go out of Clubhouse and come back in. And if you can't hear me, you can't. All right. Somebody put it in the chat for her. All right. Let's see. Put it in the chat for Jennifer to go out and come back in, and maybe that will fix her problem and she can hear what's going on. So Sheila on watching us on YouTube is saying, she put in a number 9. Andrea Randallson put in a number 9. Sheila Coleman says refi. Okay. And so listen, Let's get into it. Can I show you some things? I call this, what I'm getting ready to show you is called refi fantasy. Refi fantasies. This is just one of several ways banks make money. And I'm talking about what seems to be a little something, they actually make trillions on, trillions of dollars, lending out small amounts of money. Yeah, they make trillions of dollars on it. And the way that they do it is hidden so well, we don't see it, we don't notice it, and only P.I.L.L method clients get to see this. All right? But I'm going to show it to you right now, right on the screen, what is actually happening behind the scenes. If you want to see what's going on, I need to see some number sevens in the chat. If you want to see what the bank is doing, how they are charging us 100, 200, 300% interest without us knowing it. If you want to see it, put sevens in the chat. Put sevens right now in the chat. Put it in the comments. And if I see enough sevens, I will show you what's going on, and you will be absolutely amazed. I need some people just to come up on the stage, though, because I'm lonely up here. All right, come up on the stage, and you can just be up here. You don't have to say anything, but just by being on the stage, you will actually draw more people in. Miss Jennifer, how are you this morning? Can you speak to us?
I'm blessed regardless of what it looks like. I know that the help is on the way.
It is coming. It is coming. Do you have a question or comment, or did you just want to say hi?
I want to say that I've been waiting all night. I have not been to sleep because I didn't want to miss you. My nephew went and got my mail out because I contacted my bankruptcy attorney and said that when I went to go pay in January, when I went to go pay the taxes, this was the first year I had to pay the taxes after being in bankruptcy. When I went to pay it, it said that the mortgage company already paid it.
Oh.
And my son, who's a realtor, said, well, I can understand them paying it because they don't want it not to be paid, and they still have an interest in the house.
Exactly.
So when I contacted them, they asked me to send them my internal revenue, my IRS forms, and they said that whatever I got back, I needed to send to the bankruptcy trustee. The check. Well, I don't file taxes on my money. I worked for the federal government, and they know that. And so I called them and said, "Why are y'all emailing me saying I need to send my IRS forms to you because you filed the bankruptcy paper with the federal bankruptcy judge, so you know that I don't file taxes." So they said, "Well, we need to send you a form so that you can sign it saying you don't pay taxes."
Okay.
I've been waiting on it. It poured down raining here yesterday. My nephew brought the mail in. It was wet. And there it is, a form saying that the bankruptcy trustee is making a motion for me for the courts to dismiss my bankruptcy because they paid the $301 taxes. But I went to pay the taxes and they said they couldn't accept them because in December the bankruptcy the mortgage company paid and what it is, ICE, is that the mortgage company, the Sinlar, the processing company, and their attorney, the three of them never meet. The $48,000 check that I sent them that was for my insurance,
right?
They have not put it against my principal yet because they don't know what to do with it, and they haven't told bankruptcy. The bankruptcy judge told my attorney, my bankruptcy attorney, that I needed to call Sinlar and tell them to put the check, the $48,000 check, against my principal.
Miss Jennifer.
I called
Miss Jennifer.
times and yes.
This seems to be very, very complicated.
And what it is it's the enemy, and I know that's what it is. But
yeah. So listen,
I believe,
can you do something for me? Can you do something for me?
Yes, I can.
You can contact us directly, and let's talk about it offline because this seems to be very, very complicated.
Yeah, but just on that subject of trying to charge 200%, and that's crazy.
All right, well, let's talk about that.
But I will do that. Thank you.
All right, so let me put my information to the top here, ice10k.com. If you want to contact us, here, that is your information. That is the way to contact my office directly so that we can talk about things offline. So let's pin my link to the top. ICE stands for Interest Cancellation Expert. ICE, the number 10, the letter K.com. There we go. All right. ICE10K.com. All right. So we've got, is it Lamita? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, Lamita.
All right, Lamita.
I'm just grateful that you're pouring in knowledge, and I'm here to learn and a way to save money.
All right. So I guess you want to see how the banks are charging us 200% interest and we don't even know it.
Right.
Okay. Exactly. Jonathan, I see you're in here as well. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Don. I'm doing well, and yourself?
Excellent, sir. I am doing great. I'm doing great. And I'm glad to see you in the building. So do you want to see how banks are charging us 200% interest or more and we don't even know it?
Most definitely. And I want to become the bank instead of them beating us.
Come on now. You want to become the bank. I hear that. So folks, here's what we're going to start this right now. I've got Kirk Nugent, who is our producer. He's going to make sure you are able to see my screen right now. So if you're new to the room and you want to see just one of the ways the bank is charging us 200% interest or more, and we don't even notice how they are making trillions, not even millions, not even billions, but trillions of dollars every year on small amounts of money through refinancing. Are you ready? Because I looked here. I have a bunch of people who put sevens in the chat. Okay, a bunch of people who put sevens in the chat, and they want to see what's going on. I see it online. I see Andrea. I see Sheila, and Melanie. All right, all coming in here. In the on Clubhouse, we got Laura, we got Clifton, we got Jennifer, Laura, Jay. All right, Lawrence, Lamita, Felicia. Everybody wants to know how the bank is charging over 200% interest, and we don't even see it. It is baked in to the process, and we're not even noticing. You know, we refinance most Americans refinance every 5 to 7 years. I'm putting now $350,000, okay? $350,000 into this, and we got a mortgage payment of 7%. Somebody out there has a mortgage of 7%. Okay. And here's the payment. This is just the principal and interest payment without the taxes and insurance. When it comes to getting the kind of house you want, and you contrast that with the amount of rent that they're currently charging, $2,328.56 is probably less than the rent you're charging for a comparable house in your area. Okay, so the payment is not out of whack. But the amount of interest you have to pay is. So now we're looking at that 7% interest rate, especially just a couple of years ago. The interest rate got down to the twos, the high twos and the low threes. And somehow we want to get back there. We feel good about maybe getting back there. So this 7% interest rate makes us feel uneasy. And we've been here for a while. So if I were the banking system, okay, and I was in communication with the central banks, and we had this high interest rate, I'm just waiting for the interest rates to drop so that I can refinance. Do you think if you were a bank, would you want to keep the interest rates high for a while? Because People, Andrea says, I'm ready, sir. Okay. People want to say, I want to get back to those lower interest rates. So if I keep those interest rates there for a while, especially within the first 3 to 5 years, I'm going to refinance as soon as the interest rates drop by 1 or 2 points. I'm going to do it. I'm going to refinance as soon as they do that. But here's where the banks get us. Let me show you what's happening here. Right now, if you have a $350,000 mortgage at 7%, okay, the payment is within in reach, but the amount of interest that the bank wants total is $488,000. $488,000 if you keep this loan for 30 years. If you're new to the room in Clubhouse, go to on your secondary device and you want to see these numbers, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube, search for the P.I.L.L method, and click on our live broadcast, and you'll be able to see these numbers. All right. So here's what's happening. In the first year on this loan, I need you to see something here. I think everybody who refinances should see how much interest they've paid up until the time they refinance. I think everybody needs to see that. So in the first year, you pay this loan down by $3,555.36. That's all the principal payments added up. Okay? All the principal payments added up. On this very first payment, $286.89 goes to principal. Look how much goes to interest. Over $2,000. They're already making a lot of money. In the second payment, $288.57 goes to principal, and $2,039.99 goes to interest. Look at all these $2,000 interest payments here. Okay. So when you add all these numbers up, you look to cumulative principal and cumulative interest, you can see where you are in your journey to pay off this home. So in the first year, you actually pay this home down by $3,555.36. Look how much interest you pay, $24,387.36. Do you believe that's too much money to pay? Just to pay 24 grand. Is that too much money to pay your home down by $3,555? Look in year 2, you pay it down by $7,000. And now you're at $48,000 in interest in just 2 years. Okay. When you add these two together, that's $55,000. Over $55,000 right now that paid out already, but only $7,000 went to pay down your loan out of $55,000. Now we're at year 3. Look at year 3, $11,000 and $72,000. Year 4, $15,000. In 4 years, you've paid this loan down by $15,000, almost $16,000. But look at how much interest you've paid in just 4 years, $95,931.67. And now we're at year 5. Year 5 is when you start getting all of these offers to refinance. Even my own clients are saying, I'm getting all these offers to refinance. What do we do? What do we do? Should we refinance? You see, it is so ingrained into our society about refinancing. We don't ask all of the questions. And if you're new to the room, here is the first question. If I'm saving money by refinancing, who has to be losing money? You got to ask that question. If the bank is calling me and says, listen, Don, it's time for you to save money. It's time to lower your payment. Okay. You need to save money. You need to come in here and refinance this loan. So if I'm saving money, that means you have to be losing money. I'm not even bothering to ask the bank that. We don't even bother to ask it because it's just part and parcel of what we do. So far, here is in 5 years. In 5 years, look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. In 5 years, you pay this loan down by $20,539.20, and the interest paid is a whopping $119,174.02, folks. That's almost $140,000 paid out in the first 5 years. And now we want to refinance the loan. Okay, because this is where we are between 5 and 7 years. We refinance. Pay it down. Pay your house down by 20 grand, but pay the bank $119,000 in interest for the privilege of doing so. And now we're going to refinance. Let's say we can get it down to 5%, from 7% to 5%. Oh man, we're looking good. But here's how much you owe: $329,000. Okay, this is how much you owe. Let me show you how this works. Okay, so we are going to open a new tab here. All right, and let's see. Let's duplicate this tab so I don't have to do everything all over again. Duplicating the tab. Okay, so now here's our new amount. We started out at 350. 5 years later, okay. All right, and we're going to paste this in here. We now owe $329,000. All right, and we're going to get a new interest rate of 5% to refinance. But guess what? When you refinance, most people get a new 30-year mortgage. Listen, if you're in the loan 5 years and you refinance and get a new 30-year mortgage, guess what? You now have a 35-year mortgage, right? Right? Come on. You now have a new 35-year, you got now a 35-year mortgage. And now we're going to take a look at, now, here's how much I owe. All right. But when you refinance, there are closing costs. Let's just say right now, I've seen closing costs as high as $17,000 or more. Okay, I've seen it as low as $8,000. Let's put in a $10,000 closing. Okay, $10,000 closing. And now what the experts are saying, when you see how much you're saving, then you can figure out how much it actually costs to refinance. So you need to know that, is it worth refinancing? How do I recoup my $10,000? Let me tell you how they teach it to you. And how they teach this to you is totally wrong. Totally wrong how they teach this. So now we're going to add this to $329,000. So if my closing costs are $10,000, guess what they don't ask you to do? They never ask you to pay the $10,000 up front. Never. They say, well, you can roll this into your mortgage and not take it out of pocket. So now, instead of $329,000, we're at $339,000. Okay, at 5%, and our old payment was $2328.56. That's the old payment. Let me show you the new payment. Okay. All right, let me get my notes here. Let me get my notes. Got to get my notes. Okay, so our got to get my pen. Oh, reach back for my pen. All right, so I'm writing this down so we can do some comparisons. Okay, so we got $2,328.56. That is our old payment. Here's our new payment, and this is what makes us feel good. Okay, let's delete that. Here's our new payment. $1,822.30. Ooh, $1,822.30. So let's get our calculator on the screen. Here's our old payment. $2,300. $2328.56. That's our old payment. Here's our new payment. We're going to subtract $1,822.30. There we go. Equals $506.26. Your payment now is $506 cheaper each month. That's what we're told. All right. Horace Jennings says, good morning from Virginia. Good morning, Horace. I see you. All right. He's watching us on YouTube. Listen, folks, if you're online, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, you're watching this, share this out with your friends, because everybody needs to get in here to see how the bank is charging us 200% interest or more. Okay. 200% interest or more. Watch this. So now we're at $506 cheaper. So what the experts are teaching us, what the bankers are teaching us, is that if your payment is $500 cheaper and it costs you $10,000 to refinance, they're showing you a way to figure how many months you have to stay in the mortgage to get your $10,000 back. So what they do is so you got $506, okay, and 26 cents, right? Okay, so the refinance costs you $10,000. So let's say, take your $10,000 and divide it by your savings of $506.26. $506.26 equals 19.75, almost 20 payments, okay? So that's just a little shy of 2 years. What they're saying is a little shy of 2 years is when you get your $10,000 back through saving $506 a month. And I'm here to tell you that is totally wrong. It is misleading at best. It's misleading at best. It is deceptive at worst. Misleading at best, deceptive at worst. When you take the $506 in savings and divide it into the $10,000, and it comes up to be about 20 payments, and you get your $10,000 back. Can I show you what is really going on here? Let me show you what's going on here. Now, here's your new mortgage, and you got to think about this now. You just borrowed. When you roll in that fee to your mortgage, you're borrowing an additional $10,000 from the bank. Have you ever looked at it that way? When you refinance, you're borrowing an additional $10,000. I'm looking at the screen here and to see if anybody else wants to raise their hand and come up to the stage. Raise your hand, come up to the stage, even if you just want to sit on the stage. You don't have to say a word, all right? So, and now you have to pay that $10,000 back with interest. So you say, oh, I'm paying the $10,000 back at 5% interest. No, you're not. Number one, you don't even think of paying back the $10,000 that way. You don't even think of the fact that you borrowed another $10,000. So what they're doing is wrapping one loan within another loan. Your mortgage, and now they're wrapping another loan inside the mortgage. So now you were down to $329,000. You were down to $329,000. So that is the amount that you refinanced. To get back to the $329,000, you have to pay off the $10,000 first. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? To get back to the original amount you had when you've been paying down your loan for 5 years and you got it down to $329,000. And then you added another $10,000 because they sold you a new interest rate so that you can get a payment which is $506 less. And you feel good about that. Here's what's happening. You're paying back that $10,000 in this new loan at $400 a month. Remember, you have to pay back the $10,000 first. $400 a month. And how much interest are they charging you every month on a $10,000 loan? $1,400? Because they wrapped it into a mortgage. They wrapped that loan within another loan. And so now you're paying $1,400 interest on a $10,000 loan that you're paying back at $400 a month. Let me show you what happens in the first year while you're trying to pay back $10,000 on this mortgage. $10,000. In the first year, you pay back $5,000. You pay back $5,000 of the $10,000 on the $10,000 closing fee that they wrapped in your mortgage. How much interest have you paid? And I'm going to sit here because I need people to type it. I need you to listen and type it or come up to me on stage and talk to me. Good morning, Patricia. I haven't seen you in a while. All right. We borrowed $10,000. We wrapped it into the mortgage. Right. And we just paid back $5,000 of that at our new low interest rate. But how much interest have we paid on just the first $5,000? I need you to write it. I need you to write it. Patricia, I am so glad to see you in here. Why don't you, Patricia, you don't have to say anything, Patricia, but come to the stage. Come to the stage. I'm going to invite you up. You don't have to say a word. All right. But I wish you would, but I'm going to invite you up anyway. Just sit up here and draw some other people in. Good morning, Patricia. How are you? All right. She probably can't talk. She's probably working. All right. You need to. So and Clifton Jackson just raised his hand. Let's invite Clifton up. Listen, folks, you don't have to say a word. Just come up to the stage and sit and learn. You don't have to say a word. You may be working. I understand that. All right. Clifton, do you have a word to say to us before I finish up here? Clifton does not. Okay, Clifton, what's going on with you? Good morning. All right.
Hi. Hey. I couldn't get my mute to work. How you doing, Don? Good job. Everything sounds like robbery. But thank you for continuing to do it. I'm a P.I.L.L method member, so I always love what you got going on. I just tapped in. And
look at that. Another P.I.L.L method member. Okay. Are you satisfied with the P.I.L.L method?
So far, we're looking good. I'm learning some things, and it's keeping me on track and realizing how much money I'm spending, and it's sickening.
Okay. Listen, man, I'm glad that you're here this morning. So, folks, here's what we're doing. In the first year, you only pay back $5,000 of the $10,000 that you rolled into the mortgage. I need you to put in the chat how much interest you pay on the first $5,000. Sheila Coleman says, wow, $16,859.28 in interest you pay on the first $5,000 of the $10,000 you rolled into the mortgage. You see, to pay back that $10,000 is crazy. It's crazy money. It's crazy money. So here's what we're taking a look at. Now, we want to get back to the $329,000 we had when we refinanced this thing, thinking we were saving money, because the bank says you now have a payment that's $506 cheaper. $506 cheaper. So now by the time you pay back that $10,000, look here, it takes 2 years. It takes you 2 years to pay back the $10,000. To get back to, look here, the $329,000 you had when you refinance this thing, $329,000. Okay. Now you're back. It takes you 2 years just to get back to where it took you 5 years to get to in the first place. And in 5 years, it cost you $119,000 just to get there in 5 years. So now the bank is making an additional money on just the $10,000 they loaned you to refinance. See, we want you to refinance, everybody, but we're going to loan you the money to refinance. And here's what you're going to pay us for it. I need you now to write down how much money it costs you in interest to refinance this, just on the closing cost alone, the $10,000 closing cost. How much did it cost you in interest? Write it in the chat right now. Put it, if you're online and you're looking at this, go ahead and write that number. I need you to write it. And the reason why I need you to write it, I'm not going to say it until somebody writes it, because you need to see for yourself what is really going on behind the scenes and how they're charging us all of this interest, and you don't even realize it's happening when you refinance. Go ahead, somebody write down how much it costs in interest to roll that $10,000 into this loan. I know you don't want to do it, but do it anyway. Write it into the chat. Put it in online. Okay. I'll even highlight it for you. How much interest did we pay on a $10,000 loan that we had for 2 years? 2 years. Come on, folks. Don't be shy. If you're watching this, write it in there. Write it in there right now. How much interest did we pay? Steve Mack says, hi, everyone. If you're online, if you come into Clubhouse and you want to see what we're doing, go to a separate device, and then go to your YouTube, go to YouTube, search P.I.L.L method, and then when you search it, click on the live so you can see it. Jonathan Jones says, thank you, Jonathan. Jonathan Jones says $33,462.32. $33,000 interest on a $10,000 loan in 2 years. Let me ask you something, and I need everybody to participate. If your credit union sent you out an email or a letter stating, we have a deal for you, we're going to lend you 10,000 of our dollars for 2 years, and all you have to do is pay us $33,462 interest on a $10,000 loan. Would you sign up for that loan from your credit union? Clifton Jackson says, hogwash. And I know, listen, he's being kind. That's not what he wanted to write. So $33,000. Okay. And Clifton Jonathan Jones says baloney. All right. Listen, folks. So the total amount you paid to refinance this loan is what? 33,000 plus 10,000. Folks, is that $43,000? $43,000 we actually paid for this refinance just so we can lower our payment by $506. Man, oh man. Now we're going to get to the very part that I talked to you about. I need participation. If you're online, if you're in Clubhouse, all right, if you're on my stage, or if you're watching us online, or you're in the audience, here's what I need to ask. If you borrow $10 from me, and I say, when you pay me back the $10, pay me back $10 in interest. That's $20 total. Okay. Borrow $10 from me, pay me back the $10 and an additional $10 in interest. What is the interest rate on that loan? I need you to write it into the chat. If you borrow $10 and you pay it back with an additional $10 in interest, what is the interest rate? Jonathan Jones says 100%. You are totally right. Totally right. Clifton Jackson says 100%. So here's my question to you. If you borrow $10,000 from the bank and you pay it back, and you pay them $10,000 in interest on that, isn't that 100% interest? Yes or no, everybody? Isn't that 100% interest and not 5% interest? If you borrow $10,000 from the bank and then you pay back $10,000 in interest, Jonathan Jones says less. Yes, it is. So if you borrow $10,000 from the bank and you pay $20,000 in interest, what is the interest? What is the actual interest rate on that? If you borrow $10,000 from the bank and pay it back, and you pay them $20,000 in interest, what is the interest rate there? Everybody, Jonathan Jones says it's 200%. You're exactly right, Jonathan. Oh my goodness! But we didn't pay $10,000 interest on this. We didn't pay $20,000 interest on this. We paid $33,000 interest on this. So if you borrow $10,000 and you pay back $30,000 in interest, what is the interest rate? What is the interest rate here, everybody? I don't even want to say it out loud. What is the interest rate here? If you borrow $10,000 from the bank, pay them back, and you pay them $30,000 in interest, what's that interest rate? Come on, write it in there. Put it in the chat. I know you don't want to. I know you've been here before. I know you probably ran away from your phone and everything, pulling out your last refinance papers, and you're looking at that thing and says, how in the world did we get here and not notice what is actually happening? You're pulling out your paperwork right now. I know some of you are pulling it out, looking at it, and say, how did we get here? How is everybody in the world doing this and not seeing that we just paid 300% interest on a $10,000 loan that we would not accept any other way? If I was upfront with it, you would never borrow $10,000 over a 2-year period and pay $33,000 interest on it. So actually, it's not even a 300% loan. It's 330%. 330% interest on a $10,000 loan because we wrapped it in a mortgage that was amortized at 5%. So that idea of getting your money back, your $10,000 in about 20 months, that is the wrong way to look at it. What you need to look at is, I'm now just paid $40,000 just to get back to the original amount of money I had when I refinanced. $40,000. Now I have to take a look at is how long do I have to stay in the loan to recoup my $40,000? That is the real question here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we're taught to ignore. Someone is going to get this loan who has not seen this video, and when the rates drop to 5%, they're going to be all over this thing and refinance just to get that 5% interest rate, so that they can get their payment down by $500 or $600 and not even realize in the first 2 years, they're going to pay 300% interest on a $10,000 loan. I need to know, has this been beneficial? Have you learned something today? Have you learned something today? I need you to put it in the chat. Have you learned something? If you've learned something today, okay, we listen, we got a 300% loan here. Put 300 in the chat. So Lamita says, yes, we have learned something. Put 300 in the chat. Put 300% in the chat right now if you've learned something today that you don't. Listen, the bank has been fooling us for years, and now we know. And now we know. We now know. Queen Shatika says, Miriam S says, 400%. Listen. Listen, I'm telling you, folks, a 9 plus a 300. Jonathan Jones says, this is the truth. Andrea online is saying 200%. She also says, yes, she's learned something today. Folks, this is why we exist. This is why we exist. If you want to know more, about the P.I.L.L method and how we are saving clients all over the planet, this is an international business. Okay? We are saving people all over the planet all kinds of money by educating them on what's really going on behind the scenes. If you want to know more, go up to my link at the top. All right? And click on the link there. It says ice10k.com, ice10k.com, the link at the top of the page. All right. You'll find the my video card, and there's a button there that says get a savings and earnings report. Get a savings and earnings report. Andrea says, OMG. Andrea, is this, listen, this is shocking. Andrea says, I've never seen anything like this before. OMG. This is a crying shame that this thing has gone on for years and no one has pointed it out until now. Dave Ramsey hasn't pointed it out. Susie Orman hasn't pointed it out. None of your financial gurus out there right now has ever shown you this. And Dave Ramsey is in your churches right now, sending representatives into your towns and into your churches to teach what he's teaching, but none of them have ever shown you this. So here's what I'm going to suggest. The next time your organization, your church, your city, your town wants to have a financial program in to teach you the truth, don't invite Mr. Ramsey. Invite the P.I.L.L method. All of my financial information is there. Invite us in and we'll tell you the truth, and the truth will make you free. So go to ice10k.com. Okay, Kurt, let's put it on the screen. Go to ice10k.com and click on that button that says get a savings and earnings report. Oh my goodness. Get a savings and earnings report. Here's what you're going to learn from that. If you do this, if you fill this thing out, if you fill it out, guess what's going to happen? You are going to learn the month, day, and year you could be debt free, how much interest you could save. All right. And then with that interest saved, we're going to show you how you can turn that interest saved into $500,000, $800,000, even $1 million of extra income for your family because you didn't pay it out in interest. Here's the other thing. You don't have to refinance your loan to pay it off in about 7 years. In fact, we don't just pay off your mortgage. Give us your mortgage, give us your student loans, give us your credit cards, give us your all of your debt. Just put it into that financial form, all right? And learn how our average client pays off everything in about 7 years. That's mortgage and all of your loans in about 7 years without refinancing, without changing your banks, without changing mortgage companies. And you don't have to sacrifice lifestyle, meaning you don't have to eat beans and rice every day. You don't have to drive a 30-year-old car. You don't have to cut up your credit cards to do this. You don't have to even listen. If you have some money in the bank, when you come to us, we're going to ask you to keep the money that you've already saved in your bank. You don't even need that to pay off in about 7 years. I don't even want to touch it. Keep the money that you've already saved. Do something else with it. You do not need it to get out of debt. We're not going to upset your Apple Card. Your budget doesn't have to change. You don't need to make more money to make this happen. You need to pay less interest. And that's what we're about. So get your savings and earnings report today. Now, let me teach you something about when you put in your cell phone number into our system so that we can verify that you are not a robot, that you're actually a human. Make sure there's no spaces in the phone number. We're supplying the +1 already. When you put in your phone number, make sure your phone number is right up against that 1. No spaces in between, okay? Because if you put a space in, it will not work. Because computers put a space in. Human beings, we're telling you not to put a space in. Okay, I'm trying to keep computers out. I need we need to make sure that you're a human being. So make sure you put your 2 right next to that 1, and then put in your phone number. I'm sorry, your phone number. I'm thinking of people who are in the 256 area code. Make sure you put your phone number right next to that 1. All right, and then we're going to, when you verify that phone number, we're going to send you a code as a text message. Take the code out, put it back into the website, confirm it, and then click on I want to save. I want to save. When you do that, then We'll let you into the financial form, put all your finances in there, and then someone from my company will contact you to verify your numbers. And we will then tell you the month, day, and year you could be debt free, how much interest you could save. And we're going to do another calculation. How can you use the interest saved to make money for your family? And we're going to give you a potential earnings amount with the interest saved. It's going to blow your socks off. How you can get out of debt in about 7 years with your current budget, and you don't need to make more money. Oh my goodness. That's what's happening, folks. That's what's going on right now. And listen, if you want to do you realize there's only one book that talks about this? Only one book out of all the books on Amazon, over 33 million titles on Amazon, and only one book talks about this. It is The P.I.L.L Method, A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. A Better Way to Eliminate Debt. Let's put the book up. So when we put the book up, you will see that you can get this book today. Order it from Amazon. It's there in a couple of days. Start reading it for yourself and start sharing this information with your family, with especially the smaller children, like your 7th and 8th graders. Start teaching them now that they don't have to fall into this trap of giving the bank all of their money and not even realizing they're paying 300% interest on loans. They're not saying, listen, you need to understand what's going on here. Let's get Troy up on the stage. Got Troy here, got Steve coming back. You guys need to come up on the stage and share this information with everybody. Sheila Coleman says, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to do that. We're going to get the book and we're going to share it with our young people. The reason why we as adults are doing this, because we've been convinced that this is the right way. And we've never asked the question, how in the world are landlords smarter than banks? How in the world are landlords smarter than banks? Andrea Randallson says, I'm going to ICE 10K today. ICE10K.com, everybody. That's what you're doing. ICE10K.com. And listen, you can actually save our information to your phone. Go to the ICE 10K will take you to my regular business card, and you can save it to your phone. Just scroll all the way down. I'll save it in your contacts or save it on your home screen. And my picture will be right there on your home screen if you follow the directions to follow to your home screen. And then every time you click on my picture, you bring up our contact information from our digital card. Everybody, I get so excited about this thing. Get the book and share it. Share this information with your young people so they don't get jaded and get into the habit of giving away our kids' inheritance in interest payments because the bank is able to hide 300% interest into these loans. So here's what's going on here. Here's the next thing you need to understand. Okay? You've learned a lot today. Right? Sheila Coleman says this is powerful. She said this is powerful. I didn't say it. She said it was powerful right here watching us from YouTube. Thank you, Sheila. All right. Here's how powerful this thing really is. If it is powerful, share it with others. Okay. If you got some new shoes, you're going to share those shoes. You're going to tell them, listen, I'm going to, if you got a new pair of red bottoms, all right. If you got a new bag, if you got a new car, you're going to share that information with others and they're not going to pay you a dime. If you share the P.I.L.L method with others and just our YouTube channel, just send people to the YouTube channel so that they can watch these videos. You can become an affiliate with us. And let me tell you, on Sunday, we're going to get into what the affiliate program is all about. I'm going to do my mini masterclass on what it means to be an affiliate with the P.I.L.L method. And you can make anywhere from $300 to $3,000 a month, and you don't have to sell anything. Between $300 and $3,000 a month being an affiliate with the P.I.L.L method, and it's free to sign up. Free to sign up. Oh, is that what we're talking about today? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, I got Anthony in here. I got Chris in here. I need y'all to come to the stage. You don't even have to say a word, especially you, Chris. Chris, I like you, Chris. I just talked to Chris yesterday. So I just invited you to the stage. You don't have to say anything because, some of you might be working. Okay. So okay, Chris, come on up. And Anthony, come on up. There you go. All right. All right. Excellent. 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 All right. Let me see if we can get Chris to come up. Go ahead and push that button, Chris. I tried to invite you. Invite to speak. All right, great. We've invited him. It says I have invited you, but you're not coming up. All right. Anyway, listen, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. Just come on up.
Hey, Don.
Yeah. Go ahead,
I don't
Anthony.
mean to interrupt your stage. I'm so sorry, brother. Hey, Don, I'm going to back channel you my number when you, at your earliest leisure. No big deal, no rush, no fuss. Just give me a call when you get a chance.
I will do that. I will be glad to do that. Okay. So
Thank you so much, brother. Looking
right.
forward to talking to you. Thank
All
you.
right. All right. Good. All right, folks. Here's what we're talking about today. All right. We just showed you on the screen how, and we're going to talk about this on Sunday, how to become an affiliate. But when you become an affiliate, it's free to sign up. You just mark on there how you want to get paid. I'm going to go in depth on how you can, by sharing this program with others, the first person you send to us, I'm going to give you more details. And you want to send somebody who has at least $100,000 in debt. All right. And a mortgage, at least $100,000 in debt. Okay. When you send them to us and they become a client, I'm going to pay you $300. My company will pay you $300. If you send us a second person that becomes a client in the same month, I'll pay you $400 for that new client. You send us a third one in the same month that becomes a client, I'll pay you, well, it's 300, 400. Oh, the third one is worth $500. Yeah. And if you send us another one, all right, a fourth client in the same month, we're going to pay you $600 for that one. And if you send us a fifth one in the same month, guess what? We're going to pay you $1,200 for that one. That's a total of $3,000 in 1 month. So, Don, is it possible to make more than $3,000 in 1 month? Yes, it is. If you want to listen, we're going to get into that on Sunday. We're going to talk about how to become an affiliate with the P.I.L.L method. We're going to be in the Mortgage Syndicate Club on Sunday, and this is going to be one of the subjects that we talk about: how to share this information, what to look for, how, what we're going to go over some techniques in what to say and what not to say. Okay, on how to become an effective affiliate in an affiliate program where you don't have to sell anything. Just point people to a YouTube channel, let them watch a few videos, and then follow up. All right. So we got Mr. Chris here. Chris, can you say good morning? Are you available to talk to us? Just click that microphone. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning. How you doing, Don?
Good morning, sir. What brings you to the stage today?
Oh, I just saw you on there, and I thought I'd give you a listen. I always enjoy listening to you.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. So listen.
Absolutely.
All right. So do you have any words of wisdom? Do you have anything to say about the P.I.L.L method today?
The only thing I got to tell you is you got to do it because it just makes so much sense. My wife and I, we did it. We started it last week, I believe. Yesterday was our first coaching session with it, and it's actually it's going to be really good. It's turned out.
So, Chris, are you still there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, sir. So tell us, tell the folks, is the company bigger than just me?
Oh, it has to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So, and have you had an opportunity to call client support for any reason?
I have.
Okay. And when you called, did you get an answering machine?
No, a live person.
A live person. Okay. In the US?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to ask a question and get your questions answered?
Absolutely.
And was it me that answered the phone?
No.
So, folks, listen. We have full service customer service with the P.I.L.L method, and we got a lot going on. Chris, what do you have? What else do you have to say?
Nothing. I just wanted to say it's a great program. I hope people take a look at it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure, guys. And I'm skeptical about these things, but Chris told me about it, and then we talked to Don, and I mean, it's so much.
Excellent, excellent. Kurt, your mic is open. Did you want to jump in there? All right. So
No, that's no.
all right, go ahead. So listen, Chris, thank you so much for coming in.
All right. You have a great day. Thanks, Don.
Same to you, brother. Same to you. Listen, another satisfied client, folks, coming on the P.I.L.L method, saving thousands upon thousands of dollars in interest they don't have to pay the bank.
Yeah, I was trying to chime in there when they were talking because I wanted to let them know that they couldn't have made a better decision. I'm not only the producer, y'all. I'm also a client, so just wanted to kind of put my 2 cents in there along with the couple that was just speaking as well. Man, we're on track as well, and yeah, I remember that feeling because you almost feel like somebody's pulled the wool over your eyes and you're wondering, hey, can this really be real? It's just math. As Don always says, it's math, not magic. So when you put those things together and you have that consult session, it really starts to come together. So I highly recommend. That's why I constantly put that thing up on the screen, Don, get that savings and earnings report, y'all. That I'm telling you, this is where the magic is. All this conversation, these live shows he does, it's great information. You can take some of this stuff and you can definitely make some dents in what you're doing. But when you get that savings and earnings report, it just pales. Everything else pales in comparison. That savings and earnings report doesn't have generic numbers on there. It has your numbers on there. That savings and earnings report is actually worth maybe $300-400 by itself. And he gives that out for free. And I just wanted to kind of put my voice, add my voice to theirs, letting folks know, take it from those who have gone before you. This is a worthwhile venture. You want to make sure at a minimum, get the savings and earnings report, sit down with Don and his team to discuss your numbers, what's possible for you, and then make a decision from there. From there, you can make an informed decision. Right now, it's kind of, it's conceptual, it's theory, but once you see your own numbers in black and white, and you see that date at the top of the page when you'll be completely debt free, I don't know about you guys, but it really did something for us as a couple as well. So Don, I just wanted to chime in there and share that with everybody.
I appreciate that, Kurt. That's Kurt Nugent. The reason why you didn't see him is because he is our producer and is actually speaking through my avatar here on Clubhouse. That's why you can't see him. But anyway, that's what's going on here. And Kurt, thank you so very much. And we just brought BRRRR up to the stage. BRRRR, can you speak to us this morning? How are you doing?
Good morning, Don. Good morning, everyone. I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. And what brings you to the stage today, Miss BRRRR?
Well, I am a little bit late. I know I am in a mountain time zone, but as you know, I got back from my trip trying to catch up and looking into your program as I'm working with your team. It makes more sense. The numbers when I see on the screen. I had a session. Somebody from your team, I think on Monday. Anyway, so Monday or Tuesday, they show me more what to look for. The more I understand better, and like I told you before, I am more visual. When I see the numbers, like you said before, I don't want to spend money. So I want to put into my mortgage, my HELOC. I want to pay off everything as soon as I can.
So
So I appreciate your coaching sessions, and your team is wonderful. They are all wonderful, helping me using your program more effectively.
Berna, thank you so very much that you have another client has come on to Clubhouse to tell us their experience with it. So tell us, Berna, is there any one thing that stands out at this stage of the game for you with our company?
What stand out more, you mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the program actually, yes, targeting when we put all of our bills, our mortgage, and everything else, what I pay under the loan, um, it is definitely targeting the more interest we pay. The last session I had with your team on Tuesday, she explained it to me, and I had some other questions to her. So it is just when you look at ahead, you see where to put extra money in, which loan to target, which things to pay off first. So that tells me where we are paying more interest to that particular loan or mortgage. So that kind of stand out for me, and that's what I wanted to do. And the more money, my extra income or whatever I have left over after my bills, the more money I put in, the sooner I will be debt free, for sure. So I understand that, and that's kind of standing out for me.
Listen, thank you so much for that. And let me ask you another question about this whole process. The information that you're getting and how you're attacking your debt, would you have come up with the plan on your own? Would you have been able to pay as much as you're paying now on your debt and go about it in this way? Could you have done this on your own?
No, how can do it? I have so much loans, so much stuff to pay. I don't think anybody can come up with themselves, because let's be honest, we cannot be so effective like computer AI system does, right? So, I mean, even if I sit down and spend hours and hours, yes, the only thing I could do when I have extra leftover from my income, I could put into extra to principal, to my mortgage or any other loan, like car loan. However, I would never know how much I am saving on the interest, because when I click on, let's say, in a couple of weeks, I'm very excited about the extra money I am gonna put it into one of the loan. Your team member showed me on Tuesday this week. Um, so when you click on that section, it tells you how much interest you are saving. That one particular extra payment, and that's coming up in 2 weeks in my plan, and so that nobody will know how much they will be saving. I don't think we can match up, and I don't want to spend my precious time sitting on the couch or on the books and looking over the numbers, right? I mean, there are so much to do in life. We have only 24 hours. We cannot match up with the program, what brings up. I mean, like, I want to enjoy my life. I don't want to keep looking at my budget by myself, right?
Exactly. Berna, thank you so very much for coming on Clubhouse today and speaking about this program. Listen, if there are any other people in the audience that are on the program, come on up and say something, because here's the thing. I will never say something first. We respect the privacy of our clients, but if our clients want to come up and talk about it, oh man, we love it when you do. But thank you so much, everybody, for being here today and speaking about the P.I.L.L method. I appreciate you, because we just went over. If you come in here late, you need to see the replay of what we went over to share with you how we're paying 300% interest, 200% interest, 400% interest on loans, and we don't even realize we're doing it because it's hidden in plain sight. So we're almost done for the day, folks, but we've got Nabia. Nabia came into the show today. Miss Nabia, how are you doing today?
I am divine, sir. All is well. Shalom to everybody in the listening lounge and to everyone that is on stage. All is well. I just picked up my car and was having some issues, but God is good. We're back on the road.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for being here with us today. And make sure, I see that because you had some difficulties, you weren't here at the beginning, make sure you catch this replay on how how banks are hiding in plain sight the fact that we're paying 200 and 300% on loans. And we're going to put that amortization schedule back on the screen right now. And I'm going to make my final point for the day. Make my final point for today on what is happening with this loan. So here's what I need to tell you right now. Okay. There's about 100 million mortgages or more in the US right now. And when interest rates drop, because of the marketing campaign, the phone calls that are going to go out, the mailers that are going to go out, a very large percentage of the mortgages that are in force right now are going to refinance, and the average closing fee on these is going to be about $10,000. If people are paying 300% interest on these loans in the first 2 years, can you imagine how much money the banks are going to make, not on the entire mortgage, not on the whole $300,000, but just in the first 2 years on the closing cost, making 300%. Wow. Andrea Randallson on YouTube, she says this. We're going to highlight what you're saying here. Can this be done with other debt if you don't have a mortgage? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Okay? Yes, it can. That's why you want to you want to do your savings and earnings report so we can see if this will work for you. And other people have said, Don, we're looking for the on your website, we're looking for the opportunity cost calculator so that we can purchase. You can't do it. Our company needs to vet each and every new client to make sure that we're going to be a good fit. You see, we go the extra mile to make sure that whatever you do for us, with us, you are going to receive far more benefit than you'll ever pay in money. Far more benefit than you'll ever pay in money. This is why.
Hey,
go ahead. Who wants to talk?
Hey, Don, this is Troy. I got a question.
Go ahead, Troy.
Quick question. On the amount, $100,000 of debt. What if someone have $80,000 of debt? Can you still work with them, or do you, or is the number the 100,000?
No, we can still work with them. We just can't pay out the fee. if you send them our way, they need to have at least $100,000 in debt. The reason why is because we have different programs for different amounts of debt. And we're paying, we are the most lucrative. See, here's the thing, folks. If you buy a new car from your dealership in town, and your salesperson will say, listen, send me a referral, and I'm going to give you some money. Have anybody ever had that happen? Somebody, your car salesman says, I'm going to give you a referral here. Okay, give us a referral and I'll pay you.
Ask for that.
Okay, and how much will they pay you? How much do they pay you for a referral? How much does a car dealership pay you?
I don't think it's much, like $100, something like that. I have been
Exactly.
offered.
Exactly. Okay. Our program doesn't cost anywhere near what a new or used car will cost, and they're only paying out $100. We're starting out paying $300. We pay more than car dealerships. So this is why we have to have at a certain amount that we can pay out $300. Now, if you send us a client that has less than 100,000 and they qualify for a different program, you'll still get some sort of referral. Okay. Well, you won't get any less than $100. We just can't pay $300 out on less than $100,000 in debt that we're helping people with. But at least you can get $100. How's that, Troy? Good news?
Yes.
There you go, folks. There you go. Anybody else?
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
Before you finish, I want to add this too. I do want to tell you, I appreciate your assistance. The folks they are listening us, Dan, get on the Zoom with me and put up with me. That's what I said. I mean, he's also doing a face-to-face coaching on the Zoom, and he's not rushing. He wants to make sure we understand how to use the program more effectively. And I truly appreciate that. Thank you so much for your effort. It's not only like working with your team, but I know you schedule a one-on-one Zoom calls with your client. So that's also more transparency there. So I appreciate your help. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Listen, the reason why, folks, we give so much hands-on help to make sure each and every client is going to be successful on our program is because when you get a savings and earnings report from us and you say, I want that, and you become one of our clients, we guarantee those results up front. We guarantee that you'll be able to, if we tell you you're going to save $150,000 in interest and you're going to be paid off on all of your debt in 6.2 years, if you're following our program and you don't do that, we give you all your money back, every single dime. And in 17 years, you can check anywhere online. In 17 years, we don't have one single complaint. Not one. There's not a lot of companies can say that because we are very careful about who we bring on, and we want to make sure that everybody can be successful when they come on the program. They can reach their goals. If you follow our program, we will guarantee your results. There's no other program out there like that will guarantee your results. Okay. Dave Ramsey can tell you that you'll get out of debt. He just can't tell you when. We can. Susie Orman will tell you can get out of debt and manage and you can make money through investments, but she can't tell you when. We can tell you when on both. We will guarantee your results. We do what we say or you don't pay. No other program out there does that. This is why we do what we do. Now, if people want to know, I'll share just a little bit more with you. There are programs out there that are cheaper than ours, but they will not guarantee your results. There are programs that are cheaper than ours, but you're going to pay more in interest than the cost of our program just to operate it, because their focus is not on interest savings. So you got to learn the difference between price and cost. The difference between price and cost. The price is one thing, but the cost has to do with everything that you're going to experience when you pay your price. When you pay your price, make sure that you count the cost of your experience. Is it going to be a good experience? Are you going to pay more somewhere else because you got a cheaper price over here? So those are the things that you have to take a look at and understand. Okay? So we got Giuseppe in the room. All right. Thank you for coming up, Giuseppe. How are you doing this morning?
I'm the top of the world. It's Friday, Monday. It's a very hard day, but happy when I have time to learn from you how can increase my knowledge about everything is a bank. Thank you.
All right. Listen, anytime you want, Giuseppe, come on in and watch the replay on this one. This one is huge. This one is huge. Okay. I want to go back. And make this last point. Make this last point on our amortization schedule. All right. This one thing alone makes trillions of dollars, lending out small amounts of money that you can legally charge over 300% interest on because it's hidden into the loan. They make more money on these small loans than they do on the larger loans when you multiply it by the number of people who are actually taking advantage of refinancing. The reason why I say this, because the original loan that you get, most people will not ever pay off the original loan. Most people refinance every 5 to 7 years, which means the original loan that the person has gets paid off every in about 5 to 7 years. You have to pay off someone has to pay off the other loan so that you can refinance. So the bank that you're with will pay off your old loan so that they can give you a new loan. So the original loan, they'll never make all the money on that one. Okay. That's why they charge so much money up front. So when you refinance, this is why banks and credit unions and everybody is so anxious to get you to refinance, because they can make 3, 4, even 500% interest on the fee just to refinance. That's what's going on here, folks. And you saw it today. You actually saw the numbers today. And if you're new to the room and you didn't get to see all of the numbers, watch the replay, because the replay is going to be up on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, for coming in. And I'm going to allow, some of our guests on stage who may have a business to share a little bit about what they do as an outro. And I'll be last, and then we're going to say goodbye for today. But you don't want to miss Sunday when we do our mini masterclass on what it takes to be an affiliate and make somewhere between $300 and $3,000 a month. So, Giuseppe, why don't you kick us off and tell us what it is that you do, sir? And then we'll go to, I missed out on, he had to go, man. All right, so I got teacher Melanie in. Let's bring her up too. All right, so Giuseppe, tell us a little bit about what you do. If he's probably on another phone. But teacher Melanie, what brings you to the stage today? Do you have a question or comment? Teacher Melanie going once. There she is.
Awesome. Good morning. Happy Friday. What brings me to this room? I am a financial life coach, and listening to you and just the concept that I share with my clients This just makes so much sense, especially when you talk about what the banks are doing. And I share that with my clients so much, on them just being to be able to empower themselves. And so I'm looking forward to getting connected with you so I can be able to offer more service to my clients, especially when it comes to for them to save more money so they can have more to save and then to invest, right? Because unfortunately, we don't get taught financial literacy, we get caught. And so getting caught in this trap, now they have the ability to get out of the trap. So just really excited to be in this place and you're sharing this information. Definitely going to get to opportunity to be a part of the affiliate and looking forward to the masterclass on Sunday. Thank you so much. I'm you, my mic.
You are so welcome. Go ahead and click on that link and save our digital card to your phone. Contact us in any way that you see fit. Also, folks, get your savings and earnings report. So, Giuseppe, are you available to speak? All right. If not, Nabia, tell us who you are and what you do, please.
Thank you so much. And as always, thank you so much for this room. It's just so full of knowledge. So full of wisdom. It's just, I'm on the road, so hopefully you guys can hear me. But my name is Nabia Baihuda Harbin. I am a licensed realtor in South Florida, a part of the National Association of Realtors here. And I serve my clients by educating them. I don't want to just sell them a house. I want them to be educated. And this, what the Iceman who cometh, I always say that, the Iceman is teaching is it's an integral part of what I do, because if I'm talking to someone about purchasing a home, I also have to have the conversation about lenders, what they're looking for, about the banks. And I get to kind of pull the curtain back and talk about, you know, what that looks like for them on their side, the things that are hidden in plain sight. And so I'm always in these rooms to learn. And if I have any other clients that are coming in, I send them right over there to get their earnings and savings report so that they can see exactly what's going on with them. And that is how I best serve my clients, by giving them the whole truth, things that they cannot see. And it's a joy to me. So if you guys have not clicked on that link, if you guys have not gotten your report, I encourage you, please do so. Even those of you that serve, get yours done as well, because experience is the best teacher. If you walk through the program yourself, you will be able to tell them what to expect. So my name is Nabia, and with that, I yield my mic. I will see you on Sunday. Thank you.
All right, folks, listen, I want to thank you for being here. And I just saw Owen pop into the room. I wonder if he's still here. Let's see. I thought I saw him in here. All right. But anyway, folks, listen, I see a bunch of red tickets in here. Go ahead and click the link at the top and become a member of our house. Become a member of our house, and you'll be notified whenever we send out a new we're going to be on stage. We're going to be opening up another room so that you can get this kind of information. We're going to be back here on Sunday, where you'll be able to learn how to make between $300 and $3,000 a month just sharing information. Oh, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting. Tell everybody about it. We're going to put that show up so that it can be up there so people can go ahead and RSVP. We're going to put that up today so that it will be ready for you on Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. That is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be on Clubhouse. We'll be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, so that you can see what is happening with everything that's going on. And I want to thank everybody for being here. So listen, folks, we're going to go over my outro here, but I want to hear from Kurt Nugent, who is our producer, and making sure that our live content gets out. Kurt, I don't know if you're doing, are you able to talk to the folks and tell them how they can also do a show like this and get their content out?
Yeah. You know, what's funny is I actually met with somebody just this week from this show. Somebody who they've been a follower of yours for quite a while. They love what you're doing, love how you're getting your information out there, love how you're serving your audience and building as they say, credibility as in this space, that know, like, and trust factor, because that's what it takes to really, you know, build inroads for your business and establish yourself as a thought leader in a given space. So live video is kind of the impetus for all of that. And we love the way that Don does it, love the way that he leverages it here to be able to share with us critical information that we need to know, but he does it in a way that is the term is edutainment, right? It's entertaining, but it's also educating as well. And you know, I got a chance to chat with this lady, and we're going to be working with her, I hope, to be able to do something similar. So if that's something that's interest to you, we want to utilize multi-streaming. So we're live, as Don has shared multiple times, on Clubhouse and Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, with this content. And of course, you know, the replays are there on Clubhouse, but what you need to know on some of the other platforms, especially YouTube, is that those videos will continue to do the work, continue to do the job long, you know, when we're sleeping, when we're doing other things, when we're out traveling and having vacation with family and friends. Those videos continue to do the work. So you record it live, and then it gets, you know, repurposed for so many different other things. It continues to answer the questions. It continues to serve as a funnel to Don's ecosystem. And if you're looking to do something similar, we can definitely help you to get that set up. We'll love an opportunity to talk with you and hear from you. KirkRNugent.com/card is my link. I'm going to put it up on the screen, but for those on Clubhouse, it's just KirkRNugent.com/card. And there is a KirkRNugent.com/card. I thought I had a banner for that, Don. I would if they create that again, but it is right underneath my name on screen right now. You can see KirkRNugent.com/card. And of course, I'm at Kirk R. Nugent on all socials. So even on Clubhouse, if you want to drop a DM, or on Instagram, if you want to drop a DM, we can chat and we can get some things set up. So would love an opportunity to chat with you. There's 10 people watching right now. I'm actually going to try and put up my QR code as well. There it is. So if you scan that, it'll drop you right on that digital card, and we'll be able to chat. Thank you so much, Don, as always, for giving me the opportunity to share and to chat with people about live video, which is one of my major passions. But I also always want to end by sharing that I am not just the producer, not just a friend and a mentee of Don's, but also I'm a client. What he's doing with the P.I.L.L method is amazing. And it has had impact on my family and impact on a number of other families. I think at some point, Don, we gotta start talking about impact, man. We gotta bring some people in who want to just talk about impact. Some people who are way down the line. Maybe we can have the Rosenblums come back through and just talk about impact, what this thing has done for folks. I think that's also a relevant portion of the content that needs to be told, right? The relevant portion of the story that needs to be told, so people can really sink their teeth in. What does this look like 10 years down the line? What does this look like when you're on the third house and you're using the same program that you paid for once to be able to pay it off in 7 years or less? I mean, what does that look like? It seems like a dream. It seems like it's impossible for some of us, but I'm telling you, Don has those clients. I've been with him in person. We had a conference back in Tennessee around this time last year, almost, right? Almost 1 year ago, right?
Yeah, almost 1 year ago.
Almost 1 year. It's crazy how time flies. But we had this conference, and Eric Thomas was one of our keynote speakers for that conference, #1 motivational speaker in the world. And I'm telling you, it was just amazing to see the testimonials, to see people come and say, this is what this has done for us. And it means different things for different people. Financial security means something different for each one of us. For Eric Thomas, it meant something for him and his wife and his spouse and his family. For others, it meant, you know, they shifted their entire relationship and thinking and perspective around money. Because some of us have poor relationships with money. And this is the work that Don has kind of committed himself to doing. He's a person of faith, so I can say with unequivocally, this is his calling. This is what God has placed him on the earth to do. So we're not talking about somebody who's just interested in making a buck. I want you guys to be clear on that. He is somebody of integrity, somebody that I recommend without reservation, and somebody who wants to see the best for people he's working with, even if he doesn't get paid. I want you to know that. Sometimes we have to tell him, like, Don, you got to get something out of this, right? But Don, all right, that's it for me. I know I've talked enough, but Don, I just want to share with you, thank you so much for all that you do in this space.
Thank you so much, Kurt. So I put that in the chat, everybody. KurtRNugent.com/card is in the chat. So if you're interested in doing a show like this, if you want to get your message out on live video, and you want to get some coaching, if you want to have have them produce your show, whatever you need, Kurt will do that for you. Thanks a lot, Kurt.
Absolutely.
Okay, folks, we're going to get out of here, but I want to go over what we're doing here. A call to action. You want to get your savings and earnings report by clicking on my card. If you click on the card up above, ice10k.com, you can get a savings and earnings report. If you want to become an affiliate, click on the same card. You can become an affiliate for free, making between $300 and $3,000 a month. If you want to buy my book, you can click on that same link to get my book today. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here, but not before. On that same card, you will also see a video of Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker in the world, who commands speaking fees upwards to $150,000 an hour. Use our program to manage his finances to pay off his mortgage. And so, folks, the last words are going to be his. We're going to see you on Sunday in the Mortgage Syndicate Club. But let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas as we say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone, and have a great, wonderful Friday. Happy preparation day, and happy Sabbath on tomorrow. See you later.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.